Okay, so now that we have the incinerate, we can progress to the rest of the level. Now, that's the thing about the level design in this game, is the fact that the levels are open. We just need certain abilities to be able to pass through certain areas. So there's ice blocking the way downstairs, which is the way we need to go. And we technically need to go where that airlock is, right here on this floor, right over here. That's where the arrow is telling us to go, but we don't want to go over here yet because we won't be able to do anything down here until we get something else. So that's why I want to go downstairs. I already know these levels inside out and backwards, so I know which way we need to go and how the quickest path of least resistance and everything. So, I might have mentioned in the original run, or I might have already mentioned again in this run, there's no flashlight in this game, but chances are if something is too dark to see, there's nothing there to see anyway. That's just the way the lighting is designed. Oh, whoops, wrong plasmid there. But, I turned the brightness way up for the sake of my recording setup, so everything should look really bright, so you should be able to see everything in full detail. We got another auto hack tool. Not sure if I explained what that does. Oh yeah, much like in Deus Ex 3, if we consume too much alcohol, we will get drunk and it will throw off our aiming. The effect is more immediate and it doesn't last as long, but it's still very detrimental to your combat. It doesn't obscure your HUD or anything, but there's a nice audio diary here that explains the why there's ice all over the place over here. It actually does make a fair bit of sense.
You might want to cogitate on this. Ocean water is colder than a witch's tip. You don't heat the pipes freeze. Pipes freeze, pipes burst. Then Rapture leaks. Now, I realise you're a posh sort of geezer, and frankly, I don't.
Yeah, we need the incinerator to be able to get past that, otherwise the ice will be blocking the way. So over here we find a new weapon. Guess what it is? It's a shotgun. And like all shotguns in FPS games, it's totally awesome. When we pick it up, we are forced to do a scripted battle against random splicers that come at us. Now, this is actually a really good time to demonstrate the weapon as well. Like all shotguns, it does extremely high damage at close range, has a scatter effect, and reload pump action. The only downside of the shotgun in this game is it only holds 4 shells at once instead of the usual FPS 6 or 8. And that's actually not as much of a critical flaw as you'd think it is, though. But damn, does it make a nice, satisfying sound effect. And I don't think this is actually based off of an actual shotgun in real life, because the one that is one that looks most similar to does not have an ejection port on the top like that. So yeah, the game doesn't really know what it wants the shotgun to be, so we're not going to think further into it. It does look really nice though. Basically, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but basically, as far as I love the aesthetic and the style of both of these games, but basically to make another comparison to Deus Ex, is basically which do you prefer, steampunk or cyberpunk. So this would be the steampunk game, and the shotgun definitely shows that off. Oh crap, a turret. Wait a minute, that's not a turret. There's a, this is what we came here for. This is the Telekinesis plasmid, and I am going to be equipping that in place of the incinerate, and there's a very good reason for that. Now, the problem is, during this part, you need to pay very close attention to what your setup is going to be, because you will not be able to adjust your setup until the next level. Something that really bothered me about this game the first time through was that you can't go into your menu and change your plasmid setup. You have to do that at a machine called a gene bank. So right now, whatever plasmid setup you choose, you're stuck with it. But I'm going to go with the Telekinesis and the Electrobolt, and I have a very good reason for that, and I'll elaborate on that when we get to the boss of the level. But there was a demonstration of the Telekinesis there. It's pretty self-explanatory. I went ahead and bought out this safe right here. That's a feature you can do in hacking. You just buy it out, which is something I wish we could do in Deus Ex with the hacks that were too hard to complete. There's no way to auto-hack them. I think I just walked over an audio diary there. Anyway, at least I commented on the fact that it was there. But the Telekinesis is damn right broken in this game. It is obscenely powerful, and I will be using it in full abuse in this game as best I can. It is just obscenely good, and I want to have that at all times. So even the next level, this is a good demonstration of how the enemies scale in difficulty, because that one, I went ahead and tried to use the 1-2 punch there, and it took several hits to kill it with a wrench instead of just one like it did in the first level with the electric ball combo there. But I'll touch more on the enemies spiking in difficulty later in the game when it becomes a lot more severe. But basically there's no real reason for it. The enemies just randomly become harder with no explanation. At least the enemies in Deus Ex 3 that were harder than the previous ones had different armor setups and at least looked aesthetically more intimidating. Anyway, we get a combat tonic here called Wrench Jockey, and that allows us to have more powerful wrench swing attacks. And they give you a fixed slicer spawn here to demonstrate that. You could whack her in the back of the head. I just went ahead and shot her. Guess she gave me a pistol round anyway, so we didn't lose any ammo from that. There's a security camera in this room, but I already got everything I want to get in here, so I'm not even going to bother to hack it. Yeah, the Telekinesis, it is, as I've already demonstrated, it's basically this game's answer to the gravity gun in Half-Life 2, or the grabber from Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil, if you prefer. It picks up objects, it throws them back, it can drop them safely, it can grab objects from afar, it can pick up explosives and chuck them back at nitro splicers, as you can see here. This is the nitro splicers' Achilles heel. This is what causes them to be defeated most easily. If you see a nitro splicer, immediately equip the Telekinesis. It will wipe the floor with them. The stupid thing is about the nitro splicers and their design is that they will stupidly, after you've picked up their grenade and thrown it back at them, what will they do? Throw another damn grenade. So the nitro splicers, not too smart.
There's some law that says we must.
Uh-oh, looks like we found Dr. Steinman. Oh, quick, get him! Damn it. Okay, so that's what would happen here if we came here earlier, but there's another scripted spawn with a nitro splicer up there on that ledge, and we'll be able to pick up one of his bombs and throw it at the wreckage to clear it back out again. So it's like a bomb puts the wreckage there, another bomb takes it away. You can solve everything with explosions in an FPS universe, can't you? Let's go ahead and do that. So that's what makes the Telekinesis so good, is you're capable of utilizing your environment to cause really easy kills, and just it just gets things done really easy without consuming any resources. So we can get a lot of really easy instant deaths that way too. As I'll be demonstrating later. Like I said, it is obscenely abusive, and you can pick up an object and drop it without consuming any Eve power. So speaking of Eve power, we're going to consume one right here on disabling this guy's sentry bot. I would have liked to have hacked it there, but my cursor moved slightly off of the bot, so it decided it wanted to reload the thing instead of hack it. It activated again, so I couldn't hack it until it was done. So now we've hacked in on our side. I wanted to just kill the guy, but he was a bit out of range. There's some water up there. I could just try to zap him to the floor. Oh, there's another turret that pops up right here, so we're gonna head and hack that as well. And if you're high on money, you might as well consider buying this stuff out, or if it's a difficult hack, using an auto hack tool. But I like to go ahead and hack things and just edit it out.
What can I do with this one, Aphrodite?
Looks like we found the doctor.
Won't stay still. I want to make them beautiful, but they always turn out wrong. That was too fat. This was too tall. This was too symmetrical. And now, what's this, guys? An intruder. He is ugly. 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 Ugly.
Christ, man. I take offense to that. Anyway, time for our first boss battle against Dr. Steinman. Now, he's the reason why I decided to go with the Telekinesis and Electric Ball, because we can finish him off. He's actually quite difficult if you have the Incinerate, but we can finish him off almost instantly with this setup. We throw an exploding container at him, and then that catches him on fire and takes out about half his health, and he runs to the water to be extinguished, and then we zap him with the Electric Ball. We don't even have to fire a single shot. And that is a demonstration of how obscenely broken the Telekinesis can be. And I love it so much. So yeah, that was easy. Now, I kind of like Dr. Steinman's character. Now, there's 3 first aid kits in that safe right there, but I don't want to waste the time hacking it because I can only hold one. So to get my max of 9, I'm just going to break this health machine right here. Now, if you are going to take your time fighting him and not obscenely break the fight like that, he will go after that health machine eventually, so you do want to kill it. Now, there is an audio diary in this room I want to pick up before I leave. I'm trying to remember where it is. It's in one of these corpses, I think. I don't remember. But anyway, Dr. Steinman's character, honestly, he is a pretty interesting character, but only if you really listen to the audio diaries and you get a sense of his particular insanity and just the nature of it. It really is quite fascinating. Otherwise, he just seems like a very cliche mad scientist type character, which is quite a shame. But he's essentially just a throwaway character to make this level interesting, and we'll not be hearing that much of him for the rest of the game, except for the entries in Diane McClintock's adventure. She, on the other hand, will have much more relevance to the plot, even though we'll never directly interact with her or see her. She's sort of, her chronicles definitely shed some light on events in Rapture's past.
Excuse me?
This audio diary, I found it, by the way. It's pretty creepy, to be honest. This room is another camera. Definitely want to disable that and get my way over to it before hacking the other plethora of things in this room. Now, sometimes what I like to do in this game is, even if there's something that I don't, like a consumable that I don't really need, like if it's something that heals me, but I don't need the extra health, I will probably still pick it up anyway. I really don't even care, just because if I ever go back to that area, then I'll know I've been there before, because there'll be no items in the things to search. I won't be wasting my time searching them. But I've played the game enough times now that I really don't need to worry about backtracking to areas, so it matters even less that I consume these things, because I will not be going back there to consume them later. So, I mean, there are certain parts of the game with ammo and stuff that I definitely want to conserve instead of just ignoring it and not coming back for it later and having to spend money on that type of ammo. Or there's, like I said, there's certain scenarios, but for the most part, I go ahead and consume things when I find them. Now, as far as things that we can trigger our consumption of them, like ammo and first aid kits, obviously I'll hang on to those as best I can. So on our way back here, there's another scripted event that takes us to this side tunnel right here. Holy crap. Somebody actually managed to kill that Big Daddy. He must be pretty tough. What's going to happen to the little sister now?
It's just you and me and all of the tasty Adam I can drink.
Stay away from her, or it is you who will be shot next.
Easy now, Doctor. He's just looking for a wee bit of Adam. Just enough to get by.
I'll not have him hurt my little ones.
It's okay, lad. That's not a child. Not anymore, it ain't. Dr. Tenenbaum saw to that.
Bitte do not hurt her. Have you no heart?
Aye, that's a pretty sermon coming from the ghoul who cooked up them creatures in the first place. Took fine little girls and turned them into that, didn't you? Listen to me, boyo.
So now the game is going to give us our first choice. Now this is the only real choice we're going to be making throughout the game, and it's the one that is going to be determining the ending. Whether or not you're going to save the little sisters every time you defeat a Big Daddy and free them of their control, or if you're going to harvest the sea slug out of them and get the maximum out of Adam. Now, the difference is when you harvest, I'm going to be going for the bad ending, and I'm going to be harvesting them. Now, in my first run through the game, I rescued all of them and I got the good ending. What a fellow YouTuber of mine is going to be running an LP parallel to this one at the same time, hopefully starting up soon, where he's going to be playing on the PS3 version, and he's going to be going for the good ending. So if you guys want to know what the alternate of this game would look like on the PS3 and with the good ending, then go check out that LP. I'll link it in the description. But so for this one, as a parallel to that one on the 360 version, I'll be going for the bad ending. Now, I vastly, as far as a story perspective, I vastly prefer the good ending over the bad ending. It's not like Deus Ex, to where every single ending has, or Deus Ex 3 at least, where the ending, each ending has its own good things about it. In this game, the bad ending is just terrible, and the good ending is honestly pretty good.
Make sure you pick up on
But as far as gameplay style goes and how it affects gameplay, there are a few things that change. Your character doesn't really have any sort. Your character's appearance doesn't change or anything like that, but you do get a different amount of Adam. Now, basically, what it equals out to, if you harvest a little sister, is you just get more Adam sooner. You still get the same amount of Adam at the end of the game if you've dealt with every little sister in the game, but you get your what it equals out to is you get your upgrades sooner if you harvest them, but because you'll be rewarded with caches of stuff every 3 little sisters that you rescue if you rescue them. Now that can give you access to some of the best plasmids and tonics in the game though with those caches, so it's definitely well worth it to go after those if you want to go for the good ending. But you won't, some of those bonuses will contain Adam, so you won't get as much Adam right away, but it just depends on whether or not you want to have a good setup later or a good setup now. So those are really the only, you won't technically get more Adam if you harvest, so really there's not much of a choice there. So the choice system is not nearly as in-depth, and there's no moral gray area, no fine line between should I be doing this for my survival or should I really care about these things. So anyway, I'm getting a little too carried away here. We're gonna get into our first mini boss fight against a Big Daddy. We're gonna finally see what it takes to take these things down. Now, basically, all you're gonna be doing, going throughout each level, aside from your story objectives, is explore the level, collect resources, and fight the Big Daddies. So basically, all of your alternate ammo types and all of your really good stuff is gonna go towards fighting these guys. So I'm gonna hit them with everything I got. The electric buck I got and the armor-piercing pistol rounds ought to do the job. This first one is pretty weak, but he can get you. You're definitely gonna be unprepared, and you don't have that many alternate ammo types. We could have bought some extra electric buck when we first entered the level from that very first vending machine there, but I didn't really have the money at the time, and I figured it wouldn't be necessary. We had enough armor-piercing pistol rounds anyway. So he was defeated, and this is the Bouncer class of Big Daddy, which he has the drill on his arm, and he has several attacks. He can lunge at you and bash you with his drill, obviously, and he also has several melee attacks, and he also has a screech attack, which can obscure your vision, and it can slow you down and make it easier for him to catch up to you. So those are his basic attacks, and like I said, he can be very tough to take down. But more on the behavior of Big Daddies and Little Sisters when we find more of them to encounter. That's the only one that's going to be in this level, and we're pretty much done from here. We got a little bit more Adam. I bought all the available tonics at the Gatherer's Garden machine back when we saw it in that hallway there. That was the first one in the game we can actually buy stuff from. And there's also health and Eve upgrades we can purchase from them as well. And in addition to a new plasmid, the Enrage plasmid, which obviously we can't equip right now because we don't have any additional slots to hold plasmids. We only have 2, which is something else we'll be able to buy with more Adam. But it's all irrelevant right now because there's no gene banks in this level, so we won't be able to adjust our setup. So I'll talk more about that plasmid and the stuff that's available in the next level when we actually get there. So that's all for this one. Time to move on. Now this is a bathysphere that allows us to manually go to whichever level we want. Obviously the next one is the only one available right now.